So that is my in-laws in the car in front, and we're just going to get petrol and then we are off to Donegal. What a stunning day for it. Look at this. This is the weather to ride in rural Ireland. It's far safer for me to be behind my father-in-law than it is in front, because he's a bit of a go-fast kind of fella, and I don't want to meet my maker being shunted by my father-in-law. Probably shouldn't even joke about that, should we? First stop, petrol, and then we'll get out on these roads. Absolutely beautiful. So we're stopping off first at a place called Moira for a bit of breakfast. Well, brunch, as it's, well, lunch, it's 12:30. But it feels like breakfast. And then we're going to go to a place called Kesh on our way to the lodge, which is in the south of the county of Donegal. I think it's the region of Donegal, which is near the city of Donegal, if that makes any sense. Just to break up the journeys a bit, get a bit of food. Lovely. And if the weather's like this, this is when Ireland is at its best. Wow. It's just amazing how different the road conditions feel. So I've not got a 20 kilo backpack on, and the roads are dry, and just the way the bike feels in comparison to pitch black rainy roundabouts last night after 300 and something miles in the dark. The contrast is so different. It's just so flowy and confidence inspiring. And yeah, what I've noticed is anything heavier than a sort of lighter backpack, I'm just going to strap to the back of the bike, because it really influences. You'd be surprised how much weight you need to move in yourself to get a bike this heavy to cooperate. And when you basically add 20 kilos to the mass that you need to move, it's just fatiguing. So I am going to strap that up on the rear seat next time for the journey home. Lesson learnt there. Just get some little ratchet straps or something. That's the way to go. Just entering Temple Patrick here, and there's a lovely kind of pub, spa, retreat thing. So I've got to say, Northern Ireland, I've not done much of Southern Ireland, to caveat that. Northern Ireland does this better than anyone that I've ever been. These little boutique-y spa retreats, like this one here, there's a place called Galgorm, which incidentally Meg and I are booked for a night next week. They do these kind of pub, restaurant, spa, overnight things. Yeah, better than anywhere I've ever been. Absolutely wonderful. So if you're ever over here, check them out. That's the Rabbit, and also there's Galgorm. Never too far away from a traffic light though, are we? Oh, does it get any better than this? I'm sure lots of people will tell me yes, the Swiss Alps and all of that, of course. But on a day like today, rural Ireland, absolutely stunning. What a day to be alive. What a day to be riding. We're still anxiously waiting on Megan's MRI brain results. That'll probably be realistically tomorrow now. But just in the whole backdrop and context of things, doing this on a day like today, what a privilege. Especially spending time with family as well. One thing that's stunning over here is you really notice the low population density. So we kind of have sprawling cities back on the mainland, where, you know, central becomes suburbia, becomes you kind of slightly more rural, and you know, the density of the population is quite high, whereas outside of the city here you kind of get small towns that are just connected via roads like this. And because I suppose most of their industry is farmland, most of Northern Ireland looks like this, rather than kind of just those sprawling suburbs we have back home. And one benefit is it does make for absolutely beautiful riding. So I've left them behind in traffic, and I'm looking for a place called the Fat Gherkin, which sounds ungoogleable in the so hopefully, apparently it's up here somewhere on the left. I'm going to be finding this, and I'll park up. There it is, the Fat Gherkin. Right. Look at that. Hopefully this woman isn't going to park because too close, because I'm going to park into the curb. There we go. Let's get it into neutral. How many times? Oh, nearly. Second time. Not too bad. We're here.
I'm real happy. And the yurt's going to be great. And you
So lunch was absolutely wonderful. Bit of a soup and a sandwich vibe. Soup and a sandwich is a big combo over here. Lovely. Absolutely beautiful. So we're staying in a yurt lodge tonight, with a log burner, and it is kind of like a canvas tent thing, and it gets quite cold at the moment at night, so I'm kind of thinking I might need to get up in the night to put more logs on. Otherwise, of course, it's going to go out, and then I'm going to wake up absolutely Baltic. Yeah, can I go here? Let's go. Let's go. There we go. What an absolutely beautiful spot. It's like New Zealand vibe. So yeah, I might have to tend to the fire a wee bit, but who knows. I'm really looking forward to a bit of a R&R with Megan. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. Look at this. And then tomorrow we're heading up to Dunfanaghy, or I think I might have said that wrong. Something like that. I'll put it up on the screen. And we're at a sort of spa retreat, well, spa hotel there for a bit of a chill. And it kind of makes a loop of Donegal then. And then we'll be back to Ballyclare the day after. And if the weather stays like this, it's going to be wonderful riding. These new front brake pads are really lovely. Just they're really nice and progressive, so not snatchy at all. roads, you need so little pressure. I don't know whether they're quite heavily servoed or it's braided lines or whatever, but you need so little pressure to just start scrubbing speed. You know, when you're sort of comfortably riding like this, I'm not pressing on, I'm just threading the needle, feeding it really. You need so little to just scrub off that little bit of excess speed, get the weight a little more on the front. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Look at this, it looks like something from a dairy advert. There's lots of these kind of stunning houses over here. These sort of, where they've obviously bought the land and then just built whatever they fancied on, overlooking a nice view. There's a lot of those, and if you're used to London, it's so reasonably priced. If my career ever goes, if I ever make a considerable amount of money, I will, on the North Coast, buy a place called Ballantoy, which I am heading on a ride out with the Silent Rascals. Heading there on Sunday. I would buy a place on the cliffs there and set up sort of a studio retreat sort of thing. That's one for the dreams. Right, let's go. Oh, the road surface is... Oh, a little bit of a front lift there. What a stunning road. Some proper nearly out of the seat bumps, and it's all national. This is amazing. If you can't make it to the south of Spain or the Highlands of Scotland, or you know, you've maybe a little limited on budget, get over to Northern Ireland to ride your motorcycle. There's some absolutely stunning roads. Also, there's nobody here. Where is everyone? Only thing you got to really be wary of here on the exit of these farm roads is mud and shit all on the road, really. Oh. Beautiful. If the next 27 miles are like this, it's going to be glorious. Also, it just seems that I've got the place to myself. Oh, onto an older road surface here. What's funny, there's quite a narrow front tyre on this Explorer, and on broken up road surfaces you really do feel, when you slightly push on, sort of the tread blocks shift their load from one elevated bit of tarmac to another, and it can be quite disconcerting. It never feels like it's going to go, but you do feel that it's looking you know, it's looking for grip, and that can feel a bit disconcerting through the bars, the sort of loading and the weight changes. Not as drastically, but you know, when you sort of drive over ice and the steering wheel in a car and the steering wheel weight changes significantly, just the loads going through, it's a lot like a reduced version of that, just, and especially when you're leaning in and you've sort of got a little pressure on your inside arm, that pressure shifts. Oh, crap on the road. If you're on an absolute superbike along here, it'd be unbelievable, but I suppose you'd be far more likely to throw yourself into the scenery. So the really handy thing about sat-nav in these kind of situations is I can kind of get a gauge of where the road's going. It's not a surprise when tighter corners come. Hello. Tighter corners turn up, which is definitely an advantage, rather than thinking a bend is less tight than it is. Yeah, rear tyre pressure's gone up a little bit, which means I have got some heat into it. Right, what a road. Whoa. Woo! Oh, got a bit of air there. This bike's just so good at handling the bumps and crests and heaves. Whoa! Right, there's a crossroads coming up. Look at that. Over these blind crests you've got to be a bit careful, because I don't want to end up wearing a tractor. Compression dip. Whoa. And the open road beckons. Look at that. Whoa. You've got to really measure yourself and only ride at, you know, 6/10, because if you want to push it anymore, as much as it really is beckoning you to do that, just the chances of throwing yourself A at the scenery and B becoming very intimate with some farmyard machinery are quite high. So also, I don't know these roads at all, so any big sudden dips or potholes, you know, this is the first time I've ever seen this road. So over the bridge. Whoa! A bit of air. Wherever you go, and no matter how beautiful it is, there always seems to be a van. But I suppose they need to get around too. peaty marshland, isn't it? That hill over there and those fields. I don't know where they are fields. What would you call it? You know, that sort of peaty, mossy, damp, green vibe. It is peat, isn't it? That they burn. I'll remember what it's called in a minute. I think it is. Proper dirt track vibe. Look at that. Still 3 miles to go on here, so as we sort of slowly run out of road, I wonder what this is going to be like. Really quite loose surface here. Whoa, felt it move then. Might be a visor open jobby this. There we go. Absolutely unreal. Yeah, this is this kind of marshy, obviously it's dry, but is that peat? Someone correct me. What? Because it's not grass, is it? Whoa. Nothing like some off-camber gravel to keep you alert. Right, so on the map, look, there's those 2 little lakes. I believe, is that where we're headed? I believe we're overlooking one of them. I'm so glad I'm not too up and fully laden here. I'm also glad it's not wet. Oh, skittering about on the gravel. Just those micro movements that you feel that make you feel just that little bit like, ooh. Okay, so we're going to the water's edge here. Maybe it's just me for a confidence boost, but engine braking is your friend in these kind of scenarios rather than constantly relying on the front. Oh, dog barking. Fuck, right. This is proper then. Bit of stand-up dirt riding. How stunning is that? Hope nothing's coming the other way, because I've sort of committed to the right hand side of the hump now. No, we're good. So those, there they are. Whoop! Yeah, you wouldn't want to be on a little sport bike here. Parking, here we go. Bloody hell.
Unbelievable space. So this is the communal space overlooking that lake that we rode in past. And then we'll head up to the yurts. These guys are out here.
And there's sundew. So this is me and David will take sundew.
Red lamps.
Here, there's oh god, there's also say hello everyone. There's also those. See the cupboards that are labelled for each one. That's them in there in the kitchen as
I
well.
know, but that's for us to take flasks of water. David, it's for us to take flasks of water. So Mum and Dad are bog yurt, we're sundew yurt, right?
Right.
And look, we need to take.
Further on.
David, we need to take these wee lanterns.
Because nothing's got power.
No, but in here's our wee electrical point. So
Right.
look, here's
We're back here to make a cup of tea or something. You can.
I'm going to charge all bits in here then.
charge everything in here.
Right. Look at this. So that's that communal building. This is the Intrepid family.
Water bottles.
Water bottles. There's not even lights in there. Look, so we've got USB lights.
David, there's fire buckets as well.
Yeah.
No, Dad and Mum. Listen, should we all go to the bog yurt?
Who's who?
Mum and Dad are bog.
And we're sundew.
So bog yurts, we're sundew. David, there's the lovely fire pit. There's different fire points as well.
Look at this.
So I think that's Mum and Dad, that's their roof. See what we're looking at there?
I don't see much smoke to be honest.
There's a wee shepherd's hut.
John's terrified that the yurt's going to be cold.
The hot water bottles and lanterns, brilliant. Mm,
So it's down this
down here.
little path.
Bogger.
John, you're going to be Baltic in here, aren't you? Look at this.
This is cute.
Well, this is
God, look at the bed.
Let's stop opening the door.
Look at that, lovely. I know that's your wee roof in there. Oh, look at the slippers. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fire on for you. How cute is this?
Very nice.
Isn't that lovely?
What's this bloke? Yeah, but that's your job.
Alright, I'll get that going for you in a minute.
Very nice. So, silly question. You need to pass your up. No.
There's a bucket. There's a bucket behind there.
Yeah, but you need a photo here, so.
Uh,
What's the bucket of peat for beside the fire? Beside the fucking fire.
Yeah.
I got dry toilets, is it?
So look.
Are they dry toilets?
Oh yeah, it's a dry toilet, and you put the peat on top.
You what?
You put the peat on top
I put the feet.
because it composts it.
Clean your hands, John.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that white now.
Oh,
There's a wee candle in there.
Yeah. Look at this. I think this is going to be unreal.
You didn't light it. You're supposed to light it yourself.
Yeah, I'll light it.
You see, it's I think it's warm at the minute because of that. I mean, you could come out there. You could have come out there.
Look at that. Oh yeah. I could pop it. Look at that. And you're not overlooked at all either.
Same thing, yeah. Right. So you see, so early, if you basically you come to the cows,
So they are the same, yeah.
reach us. Make sure there's no cow stuff in there. See, oh, I feel like there's a good bit of heat in this.
Look at this.
You see the sun shining on during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cute,
Stunning.
so lovely.
Right, so it's been raining all night and we've got that mud track to do. Oh, get the bike off its stand. Let's give this a go. First time with the Tiger in slightly sketchy, and let's go. Thankfully, the road's kind of rocky rather than full mud. I did, when I woke up this morning, think, oh my god, when it was absolutely hammering with rain, on the top of our yurt, I did think, oh my god, I'm going to have to get out in the mud. But actually, they've nailed it. It's kind of stone, so it's not too bad. Right. Definitely, it's funny, even though it is loose rock, it definitely felt more confidence aspiring doing this down to first, doing this in the dry. Right, there we go. Bit of rear brake, lovely. Heated grips on. Proper gravelly bit. Ah, road. Oh, the camber on here is mental. I might swap sides in case I see something coming the other way. There we go. So we're 36 minutes, 27 miles from the cafe stop, and a piping hot tuna cheese melt or whatever is going to feel so good after this ride, because as you can see the weather's not on my side and currently neither are the road conditions, but we do get onto a road relatively quickly. The Wild Atlantic Way it's part of actually, which is a route down the west coast of Ireland that is definitely on a bucket list one to do it in its full on another trip. Oh, heated grips are a godsend. Need to have my visor open just so it doesn't steam up. Right. I am already soaked. How long have I been left? 5 minutes. Excellent. But we're staying at a bougie spa retreat this evening, spa hotel, so the adversity is definitely temporary. that hot tub or steam room's going to feel good a bit later. Right, left here, apparently. The amount of engine braking on this bike is really confidence aspiring in these kind of conditions, because it sort of just adds a little more muscle to your rear brake when doing that sort of thing. It's on this really loose surface. Snatching the front brake is not what I want to be doing. Okay, we're joining an actual road in 1 mile. Ooh. It's only when you're in slightly uncertain conditions, like back there, that I really then become totally aware of how heavy the bike is. And it's not because it particularly, I suppose, feels any more heavy than it does normally. It's just because your ability to elbow it and muscle it in its movement, or perceivably feels to change. It just feels a bit more eggshelly, because you're aware, I mean, if this goes past a certain point on a surface like that, yeah, you're not catching it. And also I think you can, you know, do yourself in if you try, because if you put your leg out and your leg slips on the surface, yeah, that's not good. What's happening here? Oh, he's just going. Is he letting me go? Oh no. Because it was one of these cyber detox retreats we were just at, the only downside is there's no plug sockets in our yurt, so thankfully I had a plethora of power banks, but to get my camera fully charged, the remote fully charged, my phone back up, I've semi-exhausted my reserve supply. Right, made it. Perfect. Oh, a road, a wet road, but a road. The crosswind is hench, and of course there's a lot of water in it. I didn't have the camera on, but a lorry just came the other way, and the wall of spray, just like a cloud, like lovely. I haven't yet had to engage my heated socks. We're not there yet. And the battery life on them's not amazing, so I have to sort of wait till it's absolutely desperate, because what I don't want to do is put them on in a moment thinking, it'd just be lovely to have really toasty feet, and then later on in the ride them be flat and have freezing feet when I need them. That's a proper first world problem, that, isn't it? So Megan and family will be absolutely super cosy in the car, and I'm going to arrive at this place like a drowned rat. Honestly, I love it. Obviously we're in the south of Ireland here, while still being really quite far north, because there are parts in the south of Ireland that are more north than the bits in Northern Ireland. But yeah, the roads at format slightly different, and obviously the units of measurement are all kilometres and kilometres an hour. Such craggy scenery. I suppose the weather's very fitting. Oh. My forearms are soaked now. It's the only bit of me that's not really protected by the weather protection on the bike. is above the wrist and below the elbow. Oh, look at that. Lovely, thank you very much. Thank you. Love that. It's a sort of, it's not really a lane, is it? It's a sort of a, I'll let you get past me for a mo. And it's not a hard shoulder either. I like it. We only burnt a few logs on our log burner in the yurt last night because it got so warm in there so quickly that we then let it go out, and I even had to open the door for a bit. But this morning, Megan's dad said they burnt every single log, every single bit of kindling, every firelighter. I mean, they superheat their house anyway. It's like, you know, when you ever been into an old people's home and it's got that parched, dry atmosphere because the heating's always on. Yeah, it's like that. Gives me anxiety, that, sleeping in sort of synthetic heat. But obviously they love it. So yeah, we used 3 or 4 logs and they burnt a section of forest. I'm really glad yesterday on those twisties was not like this. I'd have still enjoyed it, but actually it's been wonderful that there's been a contrast of weather, because it wouldn't be Ireland unless it pissed down like this. But that was such a wonderful day yesterday, and now experiencing a bit of heavy rain as well. It's good to just have a bit of everything, as long as it's not ice and snow. Not up for that. I can't imagine what it must be like on these roads in snowy conditions or ice, because as you can see, the tarmac's billiard table smooth, which is great in normal conditions, but I bet when it's below 0 and it's rained or snowed, I bet this is absolutely treacherous. Although there's not a lot to hit, I guess, if you take it slow. It's funny, the slower you go, the worse the weather protection, I feel. The bubble that the screen casts, the protective shield is considerably less. Obviously because the aero forces and stuff of how it's pushing off is probably less. But I am getting wetter as I go slower. Yeah, definitely noticing these brake pads are even better, more noticeable even in the wet. The old pads just had half a second, obviously whether either clearing water or getting up to some temperature or something, don't know, whatever the science behind it is, but half a second in the wet where it just felt, oh hello, whereas these, absolutely instant. It's funny, I've just used the back brake there, which has the same the same pads as I had on before, because I've not changed them, and exactly as I've just said, that sort of vagueness in the first couple of moments when it's wet. Right, let's do this, because people are turning left, so I'm going to... He's going to let me go. He's going to let me go, look at that. Oh, there is parking, that's good. Just thinking for Megan and family. McConnell's Butcher, look. Got to say, the quality of butchers around here is unreal. Right. That's it, Benny and Co. Right. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go right out front because I'm... Can I back this in here? Let's give this a go. Let's try. Let's go forward. Sorry, lads. There we go. Oh, I'm in. I am in. Oh my god, I needed that. But I've just put all my kit back on. And it's so wet. Oh. Right. The McConnells are shopping. I said I'm not going to just stand and wait with all my kit soaked. So I'm heading on. It's 56 minutes to the hotel. Hopefully I'm going to get there, get checked in, get a hot shower, and we're good. Oh, ugh. Ugh. I want to get past, if only to get out of the spray. We're through. And my sat-nav's turned off. So, let's try that again. Bit of a wobble. My word. Oh, come on. Second go. Yes! How is it still raining in here? Oh, right. Right, let's get back moving. Get that in there. Right. Get all those on. Off the centre stand. Sat nav boot up. I can't really see. We're good. Whoa. Looks like country roads now, at least for a while. Apart from the times that I've spent either submerged or in water, this is the most wet I have ever been. Just get on here and then side through this traffic. Oh. What is happening here? What temperature is it? 6 degrees, I mean, yeah, it's cold. If I didn't have heated grips, I'd have had to have stopped, I think. Gloves are wet, everything's wet. I've got that very strange sensation where the palm of my hand is very hot and the knuckles are freezing. but only 25 minutes to go. If you haven't got heated grips, this is always a good thing. Take turns whacking your hands onto the engine block. Got to have fingers on the cylinder head here, and it's getting through my gloves. Toasty. Oh, that was amazing. I hope my stuff dries out overnight. I really don't want wet kit in the morning. I would tell you where I am, but quite honestly, I don't know. I know that I'm 14 miles... Oh, the River Lough, there you go. What little we saw of it. That's still property, look at that. Oh, tractor in the road. Oh, there's a guy with a boat though. To be fair, I probably should be in that instead of on this. Wow, the wind across that open field there. Miles to go. Come on. Sheltered from the wind to park my bike, otherwise it might blow over. What a spot. Oh, missed it. Turn on damp gravel, lovely. And into neutral for the first attempt. Look at that. Come on, girl. Jesus. Oh, come on. There we go. I'm here. Okay, so this is how this is going. I have got 2.5 hours, something like that now. The McConnell family are going to go meet some other extended family. I'm not going to do that because I'll then just have to stop and sit in completely soaking kit for a couple of hours and then ride on again. So I am just going straight back home to Ballyclare. Right. Straight back home to Ballyclare. I will get the heat on for everybody and I will get defrosted myself. There he is. Let's get this breathing. Right, there we go. Never out of the reaches of the van. It's not a white van, it's a blue van. So we can forgive it that. I've put some different earplugs in and they're itching, which is the worst feeling ever. Might have to stop actually, or just think about something else. Let's think about something else. And I put my heated socks on in the hotel room there about 10 minutes before we left, so my feet are incinerated now, which is a good thing. It wasn't while I was still in the hotel, but now it's good because it will keep me toasty, and it's far better to keep them warm than it is to try and heat them up after you're already cold. So I think I'm taking the route past Lough. Obviously Google's probably going to make its own mind up, but when I clicked go, it looks like it's taking me past Lough, which is in Northern Ireland, and it's the largest body of fresh water in the United Kingdom, I believe. If I'm wrong, I shall correct myself in post. But it's, I mean, I've seen, you know, the big lakes in America and all of that, and it's up there with that in terms of scale. As in, when you're on the edge of it, it doesn't look like a lake; it looks like the sea. You've got no perception of its sort of, you know, landlockedness. That's not a word, is it? But you know what I mean. It just looks like the sea. Oh my God, is that clear sky? Is the sky clearing up? Could that be true? Could that be true? Don't get your hopes up, David. To be honest, I'm already wet now, so in for a penny. The hotel we were at last night, we sort of booked it on the premise that it was a spa-y kind of vibe, as you will have heard me spoke about earlier. It wasn't really, and the spa didn't look that great, and apparently you needed to pay £40 extra per person to go in it. But they then said, oh, but there is, you know, a normal swimming pool and hot tub and stuff. You can just use that free of charge. Brilliant. Had a look at it. Full of flipping kids running about, screaming and yelling, and so we depped that. We depped that hard. I just got an early night, had a bit of food. Megan wasn't feeling too well, so she was in bed very, very early. Me and her mum and dad just popped down to the restaurant for a bit of food, and then everybody had an early night. It's rock and roll stuff, this, isn't it? But Meg's is feeling a lot better today. As I said, they're popping up to see her mum's cousins, which are from this part of the world. And I am just going to crack on home, because the idea of sitting in a coffee shop or a pub completely drenched for a couple of hours and then getting back on the bike again is not that much of an appealing one. So I'm going to do this journey in near as damn it one go. It's only 100 miles. Not only has this trip been absolutely stunning, but it's been a bit of a proof of concept, as in how much time spending on the bike, fatigue-wise. It's not going to get much more fatiguing than this, is it? Just because, obviously, I'm going to ride the Holly Johnson tour in the UK in June, and also I've got the Go West Orchestral tour coming up the week after next, and that's interwoven with the Holly Johnson rehearsals, actually. So I'm just going to scoot everywhere on the bike, all my gear's looked after, and yeah, this has been a bit of a scenic proof of concept that I didn't want to commit to that, because once I've committed and the bike's away with me, I'm doing it, you know. I didn't want to find it overly difficult or my kit wasn't right, or you know. So this has been a bit of a, I was going to say dry run. You know what I mean. Yeah, this has been a bit of a proof of concept, and it's working fine. I'm probably going to invest in just some plastic overlay, and I'm also going to bungee strap or ratchet strap or whatever straps I can get my backpack to the rear seat and have it flat on there rather than wear it, because I find that it's absolutely fine over shorter journeys, but longer journeys, just moving your weight around on the bike is just, it's just added weight that you need to deal with on your shoulders. And so that's a lesson learned, and one easily rectified, so all good. Got a John Hopkins album preloaded into my Bluetooth, so I can just fire that on in a moment, just settle into the journey. I think if you distract yourself, I don't mean from riding, but if you just have something on that takes your mind away from being wet and cold, it becomes significantly more bearable. The heated grips are roasting. My heated socks are the best £70 I have ever spent on anything right now. And the journey's long enough so that they will, journey's short enough that they will still be on when I get there, as in I won't run out of sock power. And that makes me happy as well as warm. It's not as cold as yesterday. It's wet, but I'm not cold. I think I've got extra layers on, which will help, but also what it is, it's 8 degrees here, so it's 2 degrees hotter than yesterday, and I definitely can notice that. This journey's going to be alright. Okay, so earplugs changed over. First world problem solved. Got my moulded ones back in. With slightly better noise protection, because the moulded ones are actually for music, so they let a bit more of the high frequencies in, but just tail them off, whereas the ones I had been before were just like, you know, what you'd wear on an aircraft carrier, but they were itching. Oh! So they're out now, got my moulded ones back in, and we've got 67 miles to go. I've got John Hopkins on my Cardo headset, and I'm really enjoying the ride. I'm nowhere near as cold as I was yesterday. I think the extra layer up top's helped. I think the heated socks have helped, and I also think it being warmer's probably the main factor, but it all adds up to this being far more pleasant and easy than yesterday. So I'm just going to crack on now. I don't need to stop. 67 miles to go. Let's get back to Ballyclare. thought he was going to block me in then. Oh dear, look at that. I wonder what these pipes are for. That's one to Google. This is Hillstock territory, this. Can you see the incline of this? If that's head at level. There we go. Oh shit. I balls that slightly, but no one's moaning. There we go. The rain has stopped. I mean, it's not exactly clear skies, but I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's definitely light ahead, and it has stopped raining. Fantastic. 50 minutes to go, 45 miles. And then a hot shower awaits. Oh, a bit of a hand stretch. Ugh. Ugh. "35 miles to go. Not far now." Here we are, the Ballyclare Junction. So we're coming into Ballyclare now. And that concludes my wonderful, wet tour of Donegal. What a fantastic few days. What a privilege to be out on the bike. What a privilege to be able to spend it with Megan and her family. Just such a wonderful little break before all the crazy touring starts. Tomorrow I'm off to what's it called? Can I remember? Bally something. I'll remember in a minute. There's a famous scene, the Iron Islands dock scene in Game of Thrones is filmed there. Ballantoy, that's it. I'm riding out there tomorrow. That'll be a different video all of itself, but thank you so much for joining me, us, on the on our bomb around Donegal. Absolutely wonderful. See you on the next one.